Well, Precious, what I will say is from this day forward, I have a letter here confirming that you are timeshare free. You are done with your contract. It is closed. You have no further obligations to it.
Well, Precious, if you wouldn't mind, I know you and Kelsey know your story, but I have not been involved with it nearly as long as you both have.
Yes.
Would you mind telling us your timeshare story?
Basically it was 2023. I was celebrating a lot. I was celebrating my birthday. I was celebrating a separation. And I was just kind of, I guess, starting to experience life again and, go and try to find myself and have fun. And I chose to go to Vegas to do that. It was me and my best friend. We was walking through the actual casino when we came across some of the staff members talking to us about I guess the events they had going on and different gifts, we can get. And for sure, because it's my birthday, I wanted to get the full experience of everything. I mean, I like free stuff. So we were supposed to be able to get $200 like I guess coupons to be able to go and gamble at a casino. We were supposed to get a free three, I want to say 3 day and 2 night like free hotel experience and two free gift cards. It's $25 a piece, but it equaled $50. I didn't really know what it was about. I didn't really know what I didn't. That's not really why I was going. I was going to get the free stuff. We got there, and it was like a rush through. It was a lot of people there when we got to the presentation, and I noticed like a lot of other people, they was in there longer than we was. So when we got there, they spoke to the same people we spoke to, but they kind of, I want to say about 3 4 minute, maybe even five, just kind of rushed through what they were selling, and it sounded very good to me at that time. I can purchase this for this amount. I get X amount of many credits, which can be used towards, I guess they said, flying our hotel rooms. I can actually rent out these properties. I had access to all these properties. Some of the properties they said wasn't open to the public. Only if we was members we had access to like those properties. That was my understanding of it. And even trying to go through it, because at a time before I just honestly said yes, I was really, really trying to, talk it out with my best friend to get a better understanding of it because I still didn't understand it even with me knowing all that information. I still felt like it was something in between the lines. And I was trying to speak to her about it. And during that time, I noticed even when we were trying to talk privately, we even stepped outside they have like a small balcony area with chairs. We stepped outside and closed the door to try to talk, and they were still coming around. They were like, like trying to persuade me, like trying to coach me, like, come on, get it. And it was like, we didn't really get a chance to talk about it because they kept saying, do this, do that. This is once in a lifetime thing. If you don't get it now, you're not going to be able to get it. And I'm like, okay, like, fine. Like, I'll go through getting it. Now, when they said that, they started telling me, hey, you have to put a down payment down of this much. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I don't have that much. We spend a lot much more time on talking and getting to know one another, talking about family and birthdays and stuff more than we actually talked about some of the things in a timeshare. They kind of ignored that. They went around that, but wanted to speak of their self like a lot. So when it got down to the point to where I had to discuss a little bit about my job, where I worked, how much I made, all that. I did, tell them I didn't have the down payment because they wanted a down payment. So the agent I was speaking to, he ended up helping me sign up for a Capital One card. I found out afterwards, after I was approved, that he kind of lied on the application for the card to give me a certain amount of money. And due to the fact that I had just applied for the card, I didn't have the hard card. So I couldn't, from my understanding, I couldn't make purchases. He figured out a way around that and said, oh no, you can make purchases, they'll give you a digital card, and I'm like, are you sure? He like, yeah. So sure enough, he figured out that way. He got the digital card information. He put the digital card information down. So once we did that, they rang off a little bill, confetti went up in the air. They were saying, congratulations, you're, like a new owner, and how does it feel? And honestly, it was a rush, a lot of different emotions, which I didn't expect. If anything, I expected to be kind of happy. And that kind of struck me odd that I was having all these different emotions. I was happy, I was sad, I was confused. The first thing I thought, and I couldn't do nothing, but I know my face showed it, it was just like, what did I get myself into? Like, what did I just do? What did I really, really just do?
So timeshare owners want to see what the operation looks like, and I want to show you the magic that is Wesley Financial Group. This is all the people that when you sign on are fighting to help you get rid of timeshare. So if you want to enlist this army and learn what it looks like to work with Wesley Financial Group to get rid of your timeshare, go ahead and click on this video right now, and we'll send you a lot more information in the mail absolutely free of charge. And we'll tell you what the process looks like, and we'll find out if you qualify for our services. And if you do, you'll be well on your way.
During the time after they rang the bell, the man kept coming, hugging me. Like, it got to a point to where I had to stop him. I said, wait, you're being too touchy-feely, and like, he said, oh, I apologize. No, I didn't mean to do it. And he goes off into hug me again. If I just told you, back up the first time, why would you come in for another one? And at that point, even when we walked to the last room to speak to the last guy to finalize everything, damage was kind of already done. I was kind of happy to be out their presence away from them, but into, the room with the one guy finalizing, my timeshare. The guy said a lot of things that was conflicting with what they told me inside, like about the timeshare. And when I began to ask questions, I kid you not, the guy Tyler came in there and was like, no, don't ask him that. You don't have to ask him that. Just say yes to everything so you can go ahead and speed this through. And I'm like, okay, like I left it alone. And I went on ahead and said yes to everything. We finalized it. One of the many things that did bother me, and it was right off top, was I asked about paperwork. They told me I didn't get no paperwork, and I asked them, well, why not? If I'm a timeshare, owner now, is there not like a paper contract? Is there not, like, I know a certain, they said, oh no, it's nothing. Everything is, they gave me a USB drive. Everything is on a USB drive. I said, okay, well, wait, at that time, I didn't own a computer, no laptop, anything. So mind you, I want to say it started at 2:45-ish. We didn't leave the building till the building closed. We were literally like one of the last people in there. When we were walking out, the workers was walking out. So you can imagine the time that we spent mainly on talking about personal life versus the actual timeshare that I just purchased. When we left to go gamble, that's when we found out, like, it was I felt bamboozled. When they gave us our vouchers and stuff for the stuff, we can only go to one particular casino. When we went to that particular casino, we can only play certain games, which was, and I'm not really a gambler, so I didn't fully understand until I got in there what they were saying, and it was this one particular guy that was sitting there just really like, he knew like a lot about it. So he was running it down to all the people and stuff. He was telling them like, You guys been kind of scammed. Y'all been forced into getting this, you know, even down to the free stuff. He said they throw the free stuff out there to kind of catch everybody attention, to get them to come, to get them to purchase it. But that's not even where it's at. They said where it's at for them was that they kind of bamboozled y'all into getting this, bribing y'all with the little bit of stuff that they was giving. So it's like, yes, we got that, but in return, they got more than what we got. They not only got us to purchase a timeshare, but they also got that money back that they gave us. Now, even with the trip, we never was able to go on the free trip that they claimed was 3 days and 2 nights. So everything was just like a lie. Now, where it got to me was that the guy was saying that I guess we were supposed to get some type of letter that if we didn't, if we wanted to, I believe he called it rescind. We didn't want to keep it and we wanted to rescind it. We would have to do that, but we would have to do that in a certain amount of time. And they have to legally provide us with a hard copy. So I'm listening to him, but I'm still confused on a lot. Like, stopped and started thinking and stuff a little bit. And it wasn't until we came back out here, because I didn't stay in Vegas, until we came back to where I'm originally from, Oakland, that I was able to actually start reviewing certain terms and conditions and all that within that timeshare agreement. I couldn't even locate where the rescind letter was at all. I couldn't see it. We logged onto there, like it's like the apps on the USB drive. It was so many that was within that contract. But we logged off of there because during that time I was at my best friend's house. We were still spending time. We was talking about it. At that time, she even tried to reach out to Tyler. She was able to successfully talk to him one time. But then once he figured out what we were calling him about, he kind of chuckled to himself and said, oh, everything is going to be fine. Don't worry about it. But shortly after that, he wouldn't answer no more our calls. So we got back on the computer and started reviewing the USB drive again. But we also noticed that all the, I guess the apps or the documents that was on there, some of them was no longer there. So the actual, okay, work with me. And I know I may sound confusing because I'm not too savvy on this, but the actual app was there, but it was no documents in, like we couldn't go in there. It had disappeared. So she kept trying to reach out to him to ask him, about that. And we had no success. And by that time, I guess the 5 days that they give us was over. I even had tried to reach out to this they self, personally, like the numbers I was provided with. And they just gave me a runaround, like, for the whole time. So it just was like, it was a bummer. Something that was supposed to been so good just turned into like a nightmare fast. I didn't even, at that point, I just kind of hated I went on that trip for my birthday and I shouldn't have.
Yeah, that is awful. And I'm really sorry you had to go through that. especially especially the male attention that you got. I think that is especially disgusting.
Very.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you once realize, like, okay, this is not what I thought it was. Um, when and how did you hear about Wesley?
So I actually looked them up. I found them. I had actually went through Google. I typed in timeshare. I educated myself a little bit about it. And then after that, I typed in like if I wanted to like get out of my contract. That's when a lot of other stuff started popping up, like how they wrongfully do stuff. They wrongfully have people enter these timeshares with not knowing about it, and some of the times it's fraudulent the way like they have people enter. So a lot of different people had stood out. Before you guys, I had actually called an attorney because I was trying to get it done as a whole. The credit card, the like I not only wanted to exit it, but I wanted to sue them. And when I ended up speaking to an attorney about that, he gave me some advice, even on how to pick out a good exit program. He told me to make sure they was legit. Like if I feel like they're not, I can always look up like the credentials to figure out if they are, he gave me too much information. So, but he told me he couldn't pick up my case because it was complicated, and at that time I guess they couldn't take on that case. I said
Yeah.
okay. So when I began to review everything else, and I typed up I poked in, I typed it up, but a lot of them popped up. I don't, for some odd reason, Wesley Financial Group just stuck out to me. For one, Wesley, that's my kid's last name. It just was a lot that caught, it just spoke out to me. So when I tapped in theirs and I was reading everything, I was desperate. I was reading, just reading. When I even seen how they was as a group, on the page, and even the different people that they help, it just said me, like they're for me. So I did at that point, after I read everything that I thought I needed to know about them, which I see I was wrong because Miss Patricia enlightened me on some other stuff. But it was sent to me. It was nothing that I can actually poke on and look at. That's not on the website. So when I reached out, I was turned away the first time. Shortly after I was turned away, because I was in tears, Miss Patricia reached back out to me, and she began to talk to me like in more detail. And when I began to I didn't hold nothing back. I was embarrassed. Once again, it was a lot of emotions that I was having, but I made it a point to not hold anything back. And I put just everything on the table. And just by telling her everything, I'm not for sure if that's what made her want to, like work with me or what, but she took me on. That's when she said, no, they shouldn't have turned you away. This is something most definitely we can represent you in. She said, I just only ask that you review this video, watch the full video, and then read the like some of the, it wasn't the testimonies, it was something in there she wanted me to read, because when I did contact them back, she asked me a couple of questions, and I'm glad that I did look at it because I was able to answer those questions. And then that's when she was like, okay, you will be hearing, you I think his name was Irvin, you will be hearing from him, the initial first appointment, and then shortly after that you would get I would be designated certain people to help me and work with me. And I was like, hey, like I smiled. Even throughout the tears, I smiled. It was a sense of relief, but it was a little bit agonizing too, like because I had to go through sharing the story again, and not only having to go through sharing the story, at some point it kind of make you relive, some of the story. And that's what ended up happening. But sure enough, I chose you guys and you guys chose me, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, me too. So when you're not holding back and you're giving as much detail as possible, Kelsey, this is a question for you. How how does that affect her case when
Yeah.
she gives as much detail as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first, Precious, you have been so open and transparent with us throughout the entirety of the process. I think a lot of people come into purchasing a timeshare kind of being ashamed of it and not really wanting to open up and tell us what their true experience was like, or not wanting to really dive deep in about kind of how it's making them feel and how it's actually not only impacting their finances, but emotionally, physically. Taking that on, we know the overview of what typically happens in timeshare presentations. We hear it all the time. But when we actually have owners telling us their individual's experience of what they personally went through, really helps us be able to dive in deep to what you experienced and be able to advocate for you on a personal level. Everybody that owns a timeshare, they have some sort of misleading information that they probably were told on. But when you can go into deep detail and provide us about, the specifics of the misrepresentations and how it's truly impacting your day to day. I know, Precious, that even post purchasing your timeshare, you've experienced some hardships in your life, and you've been very, very transparent with us about everything that you've gone through as well. And it gives us a little bit more fuel to be able to push for that cancellation offer and advocate for you on a very individual level, when we're working to have your account and your voice heard. Everybody that owns a timeshare is going to come to a point where they're complaining about, the purchase that they have, and being frustrated about maybe the availability or things like that. But when we can prove to them that it's impacting you on a deeper level, it truly does help us be successful in achieving an option to get you out and to have your voice heard and your story heard by the timeshare.
Well, I did have one other question for you, Precious. Is whenever they were selling you the timeshare, and let me precursor this. So we'll try to not name the timeshare because I wanted this to be agnostic to anybody who does listen to this. They may have a totally different timeshare, so we can just kind of acknowledge them as the timeshare company.
Okay.
Um, when when they were selling you the timeshare, did they call it a timeshare or did they use other terms to make it not sound like a timeshare?
They use other terms. They made it sound extraordinary. They made it sound so just amazing, exciting. They use terms like properties. They use terms like and it's not just one particular property. They said properties all over the US. So I'm not just what's the word I want to use? What's the term? I'm not just like I don't have to just stay in one state. All the properties is all over. Like they used it's another term like an Airbnb. That's what they called it, like an Airbnb. Because and them was the particular ones that they said the public didn't have access to. Only members had access to the Airbnbs. So they didn't quite refer to it as a timeshare. No.
Yeah, and Kelsey, do you see that pretty often?
Yeah, we often see that they're kind of referred to as vacation memberships. And it's an exclusive membership, and your membership, you can have different VIP levels, which gives you additional access to certain resorts or certain perks, kind of traveling all over. Precious, did they mention anything to you about, this being like a financial investment, or it being something that would hold some value outside of just the membership itself? Like you could resell it or rent it out for financial gain?
That's exactly what they said. And that's one of the main reasons that made me want to actually, because as being a single parent of three, I wanted something more for my kids. So we talked a lot about that kind of stuff and even the prices of some of the stuff. So if I sold one for this, or I rented one out for this is what I would make. And oh, you make everything that the timeshare is worth for that year within one day. They said that, which was not true.
Yeah. Were there any indications that the maintenance fees would pay for itself by, like renting it out to other owners or reselling it or anything like that?
Wait, may you ask that again?
Yeah. Did they make any claims that the maintenance fees, your monthly payments that
Mhm.
you're making, not just on the mortgage, but on the maintenance fees itself, was there any sort of indication that those could be covered by renting it out or
Yeah,
anything like that? Yeah.
yeah. They said that all that. So technically, I wasn't coming out of pocket for anything, and
Mm.
I was able to rent it to whoever, and I can charge like my own, price for what I like wanted to rent it for. hmm They talked to me about that, but they didn't talk to me about in between the fine lines. They didn't talk about the specifics.
Yeah, it's wild how something it sounds like a dream just turns into a nightmare just
Yeah.
so quick. Um, so once you dug a little deeper into Wesley, and then you talked to a few of the team members, what was it that actually made you want to, like, made the decision of, all right, Wesley's my team, I'm going with them? What was the trigger for you?
I seen, and this is something I did talk to Miss Kelsey about this, but even reviewing some of the testimonies and stuff of the other clients, I seen personally how much of an impact that they have made on other people that was in similar situations, like I was. Also, a big thing that was for me is, and I only know her by photo and by name from the first couple of conversations we had, but Miss Patricia, her just reaching, it was like a guardian angel. She just like kind of reached back out to me and was telling me like, no, I shouldn't have been turned away. I am the best candidate for them to represent, what it sounds like to her. But like she said, she didn't have the final, like decision. But she did also, she took me in, even during me crying and being stressed and like kind of emotional wise, I was just unstable. She gave like a kind of motherly love that for sure just, if I didn't like other things about Wesley Financial Group, that kind of just, that stole me right there. And then when I ended up being, I guess when I figured out that Miss Kelsey was representing me the whole time, Miss Kelsey was just so amazing. She felt like she was a long lost best friend. Like we were best friends in a past life or something, because it was just so easy for me to open up to her, to talk to her, to tell her everything. And she told me don't hold back. And I told her normally, I'm not like that, like, and I don't tell everybody everything. I said, but I feel so comfortable to where I feel like I could just put everything out there. And every step along the way, she made sure she reached out to me. She was very transparent about things. Even when I called her, she always responded. She took everything serious. Some things was bizarre and unbelievable. And she kept saying like, what? So, and it was like, but when I finally gave her the information and she was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, they're like, this is something new. Like, hey, I'm, aware of them doing this and that, but this. And once again, the main thing she made it a point to tell me was, thank you for sharing this. Because had you not shared this, right, we would not be aware of this. And then it'll be probably somebody else that comes after you that we represent and will say this. And it's like very bizarre. Yeah. But now that, because I'm sharing, it's able to not only make them aware and educate them on the games and schemes that they're playing, but it's also going to help somebody else that comes after me. So Me and Kelsey created this amazing bond that I still feel like even after the fact that this is done, I still feel it's not going to be broken. You know, I so appreciative, and I love the fact that once again Kelsey, chose me. I couldn't ask for nobody better, to represent me. And I tell her all the time, even the movement that you guys are with, it is, regardless of whether y'all know or not, it's changing lives. You guys are truly helping people, especially people that's not educated, on this timeshare or Airbnbs, like whatever they want to call it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for saying that. I think that's awesome. And I think it also just illustrates, I work in the office, I walk around and talk to people. And here's what's so great. Kelsey is a part of a team, and the team feels the same way. Like there's a lot of passion behind wanting to get people out of their timeshares. They're wanting to flip the script on, you said that you told the timeshare salespeople a lot of different personal stories, and it sounds like they use that kind of against you to swindle you into something.
Hmm.
But it's pretty amazing that you were willing to continue sharing those personal stories, and now hopefully we've helped redeem that a little bit in saying, hey, we're not going to use this against you, we're going to use it for you.
Yes.
And I think that that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is. And that's one of the many things that actually made a big difference too. Because my anxiety was high about it. I didn't really want to open up and share, but I knew I had to in order for me to help them help me. I had to. Not only that, the level of embarrassment um, had actually went down when I found out through Miss Kelsey that this happens a lot, and that don't be embarrassed, don't be ashamed. If anybody should be ashamed, they should be ashamed for getting people that's vulnerable and that don't have knowledge to this to sign a contract. So that Miss Kelsey just saying that to me, that's what it gave me the strength.
And one thing I have to note, Miss Precious, is I know that I have been directly working with you for these past 3 years, but my team, we have about 18 people on my direct team itself. And I will tell you, every single one of my team members knows you and loves you because I talk about you so much. When I was coming on my way here to hop on this video, I was bragging to everybody that I get to meet you today. And so they wanted me to give you a warm hello and so happy that you have been just so gracious to work with for everybody. I know that the journey itself was long and it took a while to get that offer on the table, but we are so incredibly proud to be able to get you out of, this rough portion of your life.
Yes. And I'm so grateful that you guys did and that you guys didn't give up no matter how long it took. Y'all fought and y'all continued to fight, which kind of in return gave me the strength to continue to fight with y'all. Because when I came, I was at a very low point. A lot of things that um was normal, as you know, it was no longer normal for me. I lost my job. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, laryngeal cancer is like in the voice box. Um, she was a resident at the hospital for 3 months, which in return made me become a resident at the hospital with her for 3 months. And it was hard living at the hospital and coming back to my kids, to my home to have to get them ready for school, take them to school, make it back up to the hospital, talk to the doctors, talk to the social workers, make sure my mom is up doing everything, come back, pick my kids up, help them with their homework, cook, back up to the hospital. And then still, even after with giving her 24-hour care, this journey has been long, very long. Um, I'm just glad that I had you guys in my corner, giving me the strength and showing me that no matter what happens and stuff, that I need to keep pushing forward. I need to keep fighting. Don't give up, because if I give up, I let them win. And then that means that it's so many other people just like me that's going to continue to go through the same thing, you know? So, like I said, that's what made me, I'm grateful. I'm thankful for you guys. I couldn't ask nobody else to represent me.
Well, that's as you heard, Kelsey. We are in this together all the way through. I have one more question. So obviously you've been working on this for a long time. It's been a hard journey. What would it mean for you to be like past this? What would it mean to be, done with the war, if you will?
Honestly, I believe that would mean everything in the world for me. I feel like that this would be a pivoting moment from the bad turns and bad paths that I noticed my life begin to take. And I know it may sound weird, but it's like once this happened, it's like so many other bad things followed behind that. So, um, I can honestly say it'd be a pivoting moment for me. I done already been down, and I understand that once you have been down to the lowest point, there's no other way but up.
Well, Precious, what I will say is from this day forward, I have a letter here confirming that you are timeshare free. You are done with your contract. It is closed. You have no further obligations to it. I have a letter here from your timeshare company that says, please accept this letter as confirmation that the reference contract has been canceled. You have no future obligations to the association in regards to this account. You're done.
I'm sorry. I'm happy. I'm sad. It's once again, it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, with me, it is about the timeshare, but it's not just about the timeshares because it's like I developed a new extended family, you know, and I know just as well as one door closes, another open. You know, I'm done with this, but it's like now that I'm done, it's like I gotta say bye to you guys, and I don't want to because you guys are so amazing. And it just felt good with having you guys, even though I know it was only for the timeshare, but y'all did something much more special for me than just that, you know? So I'm sorry about the tears. It's happy tears and it's
Don't be sorry at all. And I know that this timeshare journey is ending for you, but we at Wesley Financial Group will always be here for you, whatever you need. We are here to support you. And I love that you don't have to stress about this timeshare anymore and can move on, but we still want to hear all the happy parts of your life that happened too, because I just know that, like you said, it's an uphill climb from here, and I can't wait for you to be able to move on from this crazy mess that you got into.
yes. Me too, and I'm extremely happy about that. No more of them stealing money from me. I
Yes.
haven't even been able to go on a trip. Vegas made me not want to go on no more trips. Um, you know, the maintenance fees, the raises, the irritating calls, like constantly just calling, 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 calling. Um, but like I said, even with that door closing, I know another one is opening, but I'm still gonna be reaching out to you guys.
Please do. And I challenge you to take yourself on a vacation this year that's not with a timeshare. that you can treat yourself to from all the money that you're going to be saving on that mortgage and those maintenance fees, and do something for yourself. And you've done a lot these past years for your family and your mom and your kids, and you deserve a break for yourself as well. So please, please, please make sure you do that for yourself.
Oh yeah, most. So I got a question. Just
We're ready.
want to know. So if I was ever to kind of come out there where you guys was, right? Would I be able to come in and see y'all?
Absolutely. I'm going to answer for that for the company itself. I think everybody here would love to meet you. And yeah, we would be more than happy to have you here.
Okay. Sounds like a plan to me. So you never know. I may be popping up soon. You never know.
Well, my number's not changing, so
Okay.
you call me and you email me at any point, and I would be more than happy to see you in person.
Yes. I look forward to seeing you all in person and you guys will be able to meet, my children, because we are all family. That's it. We're locked in forever, you guys.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for jumping on this call and talking through your story. And your timeshare is no more. You are timeshare free.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
We
All of
did it.
us.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for everything. I'm glad that I was able to share my story. And hopefully, moving forward, anybody else that you guys may potentially represent in the future, hopefully, it may help them too. It may give them some pointers on things to do with you guys so it can better help them, you know? And once again, like I told you, I want you guys to keep up this movement and continue changing lives and making differences, because that's what you guys are doing. And I want you guys to know that you guys are amazing.
Well, thank you very much. And oh, sorry.
I was just going to say that I'm going to email you a copy of this letter so you can keep it for yourself and keep it for your records.
Yes, I think I'm gonna frame this
You should frame it.
milestone. I feel like for both of us.
Yes, yes. I'll keep a copy framed at my desk. You keep a copy framed on your fridge.
I sure will. I sure will. Oh my God.
That's
I
so.
feel so much right now and I'm happy, but I think I'm gonna scream when we get off.
Hey, you can scream now.
Yeah.
You're free. You can do what you want.
I can't right now. I need to do a lot. I gotta jump up. I gotta jump up. I gotta jump in place. I gotta run. You know, I may do some twerking, I think as the kids call it. I don't know. I'm gonna do a lot, but yes, I'm sorry. Well, since we're on the phone, we're on here. Come here, baby.
Yes, I'd love to meet.
This is
Yes.
the oldest. She's been in here the whole time. When I started crying, she just immediately looked at me, but I think she realized it was a good cry. It wasn't a bad one, but I would like you to meet my oldest daughter. She's 21. Jonelle, this is Miss Kelsey.
Hello.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. Oh, you've got the best mother. She talks about you all the time.
Thank you. I'm happy.
You happy? Oh, see, it's so happy. Today is just gonna be amazing.
Yes.
Okay? And I thank you so much, Miss Kelsey, for everything, for everything. Like, I just want you to keep giving the same energy to your clients because it really does make a very big difference.
Well, I appreciate you. And again, I can't thank you enough for just being so open and transparent with us throughout the process. I mean, I know that it's been a long journey for you, so I just can't thank you enough just for your patience and your motivation throughout the process as well. Your drive to keep us pushing and fighting for you is why we got to the results that we got to today. So it's just been the best time working with you, and I will promise you that I will continue to push this energy into every other person that I continue to help here.
Yes, please do because it does make a very big difference. And you guys were actually the ones that motivate me to do this. You guys were the one that gave me a sense of relief. I never forget the moment where you said, "Hey, we got the case now. You let us handle the stress. You worry about your life." And the actual day that you said that, in July of 2023, I held on to that. And I worked. It took time, but I actually let it fall into place and I did what you said. So if it wasn't for you releasing me of that burden, I probably wouldn't have been able. So once again, I thank you guys so much. I can't remember everybody. I know I talked to a lot of different team members,
Yeah.
but all of you guys, thank you.
Yes.